นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังธัมมังสังฆังกุณุตรังอุปชายังนัมมสามิ So I was asked to offer some of my reflection to you this evening, and I agree to do that with my good wishes that it can be beneficial to some of you. I'm a Thai monk, and I was here in 2007. I spent a year here. And then I left to Thailand. The idea, that was my first time being in the West. It's quite, looking back, it's quite challenging, isn't it? That I haven't been abroad at all. And my first time coming to England, I travel alone, without knowing what I'm going to deal with. And I end up here at Chithurst. At the time, I was supported by some of the senior monks in Thailand for a Thai monk to come here in the West to see how Buddhism is taught here, if there are any kinds of similarity or differences in terms of teaching the Dhamma here. So that was my experiences. I spent a year here at Chithurst, and after that I come back maybe a few times, but not very long. Usually it's a very short visit, sometimes just few days. This time I'm taking a sabbatical leave from my role as an abbot in the temple, in the monastery, in the north of Thailand. So I have opportunity to spend time here now for 3 weeks now. So my mind couldn't help thinking about my old times, you see. I also meet with some of my old friends here. Looking back at that time, it's my first time being in the community with different nationalities. At the time, we have something like 13 nationalities, differences in terms of cultural conditioning. And looking back, that most of the monastic people I know, I meet here at Chithurst in 2007, most of them disrobed now, return to their lay life. When I first ordained, I ordained in 1995, and at that time I was a city boy, just graduated from university. Most of Westerners would think that being a Thai, it would be easier to ordain and then practice the Dhamma, practice meditation in the Buddhist country like in Thailand. But actually, I think that we share the same experiences, that we have to deal with our own challenges in different way. Because at the time I was a city boy too, I don't know much about the forest tradition. Because in Thailand, even though we are Buddhist culture, it doesn't mean that everyone, every Thai people familiar with forest tradition and meditation practice. Most of the time, when I was young, I go with my grandmother to the temple. It's more on offering dana. I don't hear a lot of teaching on meditation when I was young. When I ordain, it also can be very challenging, especially from my background that I study, I read a lot. It can be frustrated that sitting and then have to deal with our own mind. I think in a similar way that you have to experience this. I remember that my first few years that I have to practice meditation, I couldn't find a lot of peacefulness in my mind. Most of the time, my mind just running around all over the places. It can be even more frustrated because that when you look around, a lot of my fellow monks, they seem to do it quite well. They seem to sit quietly, and then when they talk about it, I just don't know what they're talking about. When they are talking about when their mind become peaceful, they don't experience the period that there seem to be no thought coming to the mind at all. And at that time, when we were asked to sit for at least 1 hour, I just can't. My limitation at the beginning would be just not more than 30 minutes. So what can I do with the other 30 minutes that I still have to sit with the group? So I have to find some way that to survive, some skill that I have to develop during that time so I can sit. So with that, so I use a lot of thinking mind, thinking about, I use metta meditation, and I use a lot of reflection. Sometimes I split the section of 30 minutes into small parts, dedicate some of the meditation to someone I know, my parents, my teachers, my lay teacher, friends, or all those people. In that way, I survived the whole hour of sitting meditation. I never consider myself as a very good meditator, because that when I look around and then see other fellow monks who seem to be able to do it better than me, so I have to be quite humble on that one. But later on, after 10 years or so, I start to see that all those, hardcore monks who are able to sit still, they start to disrobe, and many of them gone, and I still be here. And also now, after 30 years, I can see it more clearer now that there must be something about my meditation practice. At least it helped me to survive, right? So there must be something right about it. But then at the time, I don't see it. I don't understand the true value of it. I started to understand more when I come to the retreat with Ajahn Piyasilo, and then he explains about the two main approaches of meditation that I didn't know about. He talked about the discursive and non-discursive meditations. Most of the time, in my early years of being a monk, I heard a lot about the non-discursive meditation. That we find something as an object of meditation, and then we bring our attention to that particular object of meditation and develop our awareness through that mindfulness. And eventually we develop calmness in the mind through that kinds of mindfulness practice. But for the discursive meditation, you allow your thinking mind to think, reflect on some particular topic. You provide a kind of framework for the mind to do. And in order to do that, you help the mind to be able to to focus, and it usually bring out some kinds of wholesome feeling. If you think in a kind of skillful way, at that lead to a very good state that you can develop samadhi later on. After some time, I always have some kinds of question when I was a young monk, that why some of my friends who seem to be very good in terms of meditation practice, they seem to be very sincere, and from my perception, they are all very good monks. But then why they cannot stay longer as a monk? Why many of them disrobe? These questions always in my mind. I couldn't find the answer. But then I still keep practicing and stay. Not until I met Luang Po Somdet, Venerable Somdet Prayut. In the West, if you have Bhikkhu Bodhi as a scholar who can explain the Dhamma teaching very well from the Pali text, in Thailand we have this Luang Po Prayut, who is the writer of Buddha Dhamma, that we can trust in his knowledge of explaining the Dhamma. At one time, he has his kuti nearby Ajahn Piyasilo kuti in Pak Chong, Thailand. So Than Ajahn took me to visit him. On that particular day, Luang Po Somdet, he talked about pramoja, joy, how happiness and joy play important role in sustaining the Dhamma practice. And he quoted the Buddha that the Buddha said that the monk, the one who full of joy, who full of pramoja, can lead them to the end of suffering. So it's interesting, isn't it, that we're talking about two things that seem to be quite contradict each other. That when we're full of joy, and how can this kind of full of joy help us to end our suffering? But when I sit there, listen to the Dhamma from explanation from Luang Po Somdet, this is another time that you see sometimes it's not only the Dhamma that has been delivered to you at that moment that you make you understand, but it more on the personality, and also the Dhamma that exists in the person, sharing that to you. When I listen to him talking about how joy or happiness can play an important role in sustaining the Dhamma practice, and he himself is full of joy in explaining that. So it go together and help me to clearly understand that, this is what is it, that when he talk about pramoja. And then later on, he explained that the Buddha said that when the mind develop these kinds of pramoja or joy, one joy, the mind become joyful, that rapture arise, and more intense kinds of joy. And once the mind full of rapture, the passaddhi, the relaxation, tranquility in the mind arise. And then when the mind becomes tranquil, with the kind of relaxation, through that relaxation of passaddhi, blissful, the mind becomes blissful. Another level of happiness arises in the mind. And with that, the mind can be immersed into samadhi. You can find these kinds of teaching in the Pali text quite a lot when the Buddha referred to this pramoja or joy, delight in the mind. So I think that it's very important to share this with you, because at that time I start to see really clear that if we want to sustain our Dhamma practice, we need to develop this kinds of inner happiness. Or in another word, we need to develop inner resources of happiness. You can try to put this into practice and see it for yourself. Normally when we meditate, we just find some object of meditation, and when we develop our mindfulness through it, right? You can try that for the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes, just give the topic for the mind to think about. You can try with thinking about the goodness or some contribution that you have done to other people. Take your time to be with it, reflect upon it. Usually when we think about something in a wholesome way, the mind becomes wholesome, and it generates some positive state of mind. With this kinds of thinking in a kind of skillful way, leading to the wholesome state of mind, this kinds of wholesome thinking can bring joy and happiness into the mind. Thinking about the goodness you have done into this world, you don't have to think in a way that it belongs to you, something that is what you do. It probably just like that many of you who are English people like, gardening. When you do the gardening, you can appreciate the beauty of your flower without having to have a feeling this is mine, this is not belong, this belong to me. You see, you just appreciate, but for sure you contribute something. Even you can be very humble as an English people. When people appreciate your garden, the English people won't take compliments so well, right? Instead of you said, okay, thank you about that. Most English people I know will say that, well, it's not seems to be nice this year. Last year is a lot better than this one. But actually, we have put some effort into that. We contribute something. I think the similes of planting trees is very good in Dhamma practice. Because when we plant something, like Ajahn Chah said, we're not the person who force the tree or the plant to give flower or fruit. That duties belong to the tree. It's not our duty. Our responsibility and duty is just looking after it, water it, and do our best on that, and allow the tree, the plant, to do their own duties. So on, they do their duty so well, like roses produce a lot of flower. We can appreciate that. We appreciate the beauty of flower in the same way that we can appreciate the goodness or contribution that we have done to other people. Because we ourselves know our intention very well. Sometimes we just take it for granted that, even the monk, we can do something like that too. I've been, living in the small monastery in the north of Thailand for many years. Actually, it's more than 25 years now. So I've done a lot. I plant a lot of trees there. All the building, I supervise all the building. But when you do things like this, you don't really appreciate that much because you be with it, right? So every time I walk around the monastery, it's more on that, this one need to be repaired, or this one you have to do something about this, you should clear this one could be that better than this. My mind focus on this kinds of thing. But then I went to the workshop on death contemplation, peaceful death. In that workshop, we have the practice that how we can bring the mind to reflect upon some kinds of happiness on our deathbed. So I happen to have my friend to be my partner in that kinds of exercise, and this person know me very well. So we practice a kind of we say role play, right? You try to put yourself into that situation, so help you to gain some perspective. So that kind of imagination, that practicing dealing with my own death, my friend told me that just remember that you have been doing so well with your monastery. You make your monastery so beautiful that people can benefit from it. Believe it or not, by hearing that, my mind becomes so joyful. I was so glad to hear that. So the question is that, why can't I do it myself? Why I can do it so well when I hear it from other people, you see. So this is another lesson that my own lesson that I like to share with you. Because that after my time in Chithurst, I was back to Thailand. I developed another interest. Is that I went to the workshop on this kind of peaceful death, and I developed some skill in helping the dying patient and also the relative of people who are looking after the dying person to deal with this situation. So from that experiences, now I have been visiting the dying patient when someone asks me to do that. Directly, I have at least, I think, more than 10 people that I visited them on their deathbed by myself, and also could be a lot more when I give some guided some instructions or some idea that how relative can help those people who are on their deathbed. So it quite relates to the idea that I talk about the pramoja, that how we can develop inner resources of happiness, because it becomes very useful on our own deathbed, and also when we help our loved one, that when they have to deal with their own death. I've been at the beginning, I don't think that I have this kinds of skill or ability to do this at all. But then at one occasion that I visited the dying patient with cancer, that was my first one. And this person, she was on her last stage, and she has to take a lot of morphine to help to deal with physical pain. So I learned from my Dhamma practice, and also from the experience of being with the senior monk, that when all those people who develop their skill in meditation and understanding the Dhamma, they have this ability to be with physical discomfort to the level that normally people don't have that level. One of the inspiring experiences for me is that my experience of visiting Luang Por Plien one of the senior monk who visited Abhayagiri many years ago. Some of the monks here know him very well. He has a well respected senior monk from Thailand. Developed a lot, knowledge and skill in meditation. I visited him on his deathbed. He also got cancer, and just near in his room, the doctor sit with his team, and they have their conversation quietly. And I heard that conversation that Luang Por got the morphine to the maximum level because on that stage the body have to deal with endure with a lot of physical pain. But even the maximum dose of morphine still cannot deal with his physical level because it's so intense in that state. But when I look at Luang Por, I just remember it vividly that he lie down on his bed on this side, you see. Very serene. I don't see any kind of suffering from him at all. I couldn't believe my eye that this is the body that's full of physical pain. So when I bowed to him, the Pali word Supatipanno Savaka Sangho Sanghang Namami just arise within my mind automatically. The translation would be the Buddha disciple who practice well. I bow to him. So it's very inspiring for me to see someone can deal with the immense physical pain in that level. So I make a atitana, make a determination in my mind at that moment that may my practice help me to develop this kind of skill. I don't think that I have to go to this level of Luang Por. Maybe some part of that skill would be just good enough for me. So at least I can follow. I don't have to just be suffer with physical pain that it arises. Many of you probably hear the teaching of Luang Por Simeto that he coined this word, peacefully coexist with. I think this is a great example of Luang Por Pian, that he can peacefully coexist with physical pain. So coming back to what I tried to tell you again, my first experience of visiting the dying patient with cancer with high dose of morphine. I'm not sure about how I can help this person because that, in theory, we know that someone like Luang Por Pian can do it. But how can, normal, ordinary people who doesn't have a lot of experiences in meditation, will they be able to do that or not? I'm not sure about it. But I just have to give it a try and do my best on that. So I asked her to lie down quietly, be comfortably, and then some of the relatives sit around the bed, and we meditate together. I give her a guided meditation by guided her to think about all the goodness that she have done into this world. Being a Thai, I know that she'll be very happy to think about all the merit, all the dana that she has done to the Sangha and the monastery. Guided her to think about the respected the teacher that she respected, thinking about all the good things that she have done to her family. It took about 10 minutes that I guide her to think about all the good things that I think about it. I just imagine that something that would make you feel happy to hear about. I've done my best, and when I finish it, I don't have any kind of confidence at all. I know that I've tried to do my best. And how can we know that this person who was, dying on the last stage of their life, should be able to meditate on that? We don't know. But then after that, her daughter told me later on through some of the relatives that the patient said that when I was visiting her with the other monk, the pain just arises. But when she meditated and tried to follow my guided meditation on the themes of reflecting on goodness that you have done or the merit you have done, thinking about the wholesome thing in her life, the pain just disappears by itself. So it's the first time that I realized that actually, if you can focus your mind into something wholesome, somehow the physical pain just not disturbed in it. So you can be peacefully coexist with it as if it doesn't seem to bother you. It doesn't mean that you don't feel the pain, you don't experience it, but your mind focus on something else. It's more like you allow your physical pain, just your physical pain. You not add another layer of mental suffering on top of it. Instead, you develop another kinds of finding your inner resources of happiness that can the mind can be dwelled in, and with that, physical pain, just physical pain. Suffering for ourselves is not equal physical pain. Usually, in our experiences, our suffering will be our physical pain plus mental pain, because it automatically that we dislike it. We want to get rid of it. We don't want to be with it. So this way, the process that the mind make it more complicated, and somehow the mental pain or the mental suffering even more than the physical pain itself. So in this process, if you can focus your mind on this wholesome state of mind, develop your inner happiness resources that your mind can be dwelled in. So you reduce this part of mental pain, which means that what only left for you is just physical pain itself without adding anything on top of it, or doesn't make it more complicated as you usually do. So it can be helpful in this way. And from my experiences in dealing with this kind of situation, visiting the dying patients, and also giving some teaching on this one, more and more I can see that, if we can develop these kinds of inner resources for happiness, you're able to see that you develop your skill in dealing with the physical pain in the level you might not expect yourself that you can do it in that way. So when it comes into practice, you can can try to do that. Sometimes if you sit and then you allow your mind to come to the present moment, when the mind is not ready for that, it's going to take some time, and it requires quite a lot of effort to bring the mind back to the present moment again and again. The practice like this is good in itself for sure. There's nothing wrong about it. But sometimes when you feel that you don't have the kinds of energy or effort to do that much, there's another way that you can try, give it a try. Just bring the mind to think about something unwholesome. So these lines of practice, meditation practice, can go into that the part of recollection that they call anusati. There's a lot of things that you can think about, like a sense of gratitude toward the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Like the other day when Ajahn Piyasilo was talking about our gratitude toward Luang Por Cha. You can spend some time thinking about that. And once the mind into that kind of wholesome state of mind, it develops this positive feeling, and the mind become happy, and you develop into that pamoja, joy and happiness, and allow it to grow into rapture, and allow it to develop into relaxation, tranquility. Usually it go by itself. The first step is probably something that you need to develop more. But once you develop these kinds of pramoja into rapture, from that state, it seems to be flow like a kind of river, flowing from full of rapture, going to tranquility, go to blissfulness in the mind, and also go to and the mind dwell into samadhi. All of this seem to be like a kind of flow of the river naturally. So this is what I like to offer to you this evening. I hope that you can benefit from it, and then you can try to contemplate on that theme.